Ladies and gentlemen, again, we appreciate everyone being here today, and a lot of great fellowship. It's great to see a lot of faces back that we haven't seen in a while, and a lot of ones we see every year, but it's great to see you all. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here today for the 2021 University of North Alabama Athletic Hall of Fame ceremony. I'm Jeff Hodges. I'm the chairman of the UNA Athletic Hall of Fame. Please join me at this time in welcoming the president of the University of North Alabama, who will officially welcome you to our campus, Dr. Ken Kitts.
So good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to extend an official welcome to each of you on behalf of the University of North Alabama to this 2021 induction ceremony for our Athletic Hall of Fame. Today culminates a celebration that began last May when this class of 6 inductees was announced. And now here we are on this magnificent Chamber of Commerce Day on this beautiful and historic campus getting ready to make all of this official. And we still have a parade and a ball game yet to go. So to our 5 student-athlete inductees and to Dr. Rhoden, who I already know is a colleague and friend, congratulations. I've enjoyed getting to know more about each of you through this process, and my family and I look forward to celebrating this special day with you and your families. This is an important time in the life of Lion Athletics with our transition to Division I. Dr. Josh Looney here as our brand new Director of Athletics, continuing the great work started by Mark Linder and others before him. But even as we look ahead to that exciting future, we understand that the foundations for this success were laid over many years, and you're an important part of that equation. So thank you very much. So know that we thank you for your role in advancing our athletic program and adding luster to the UNA name. And of course, Roar Lions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kitts. At this time, we'd also like to introduce our new athletic director here at the University of North Alabama, Dr. Josh Looney. Dr. Looney started here on September 1st, so we've had him for about a month and a half now, and excited to have him here.
Thank you, Jeff, and to everybody, welcome home. Absolutely honored to have you back here. Although this is my first opportunity to be at this Hall of Fame induction ceremony at the University of North Alabama, every place I've been, whether it's been in professional sports or college sports, this day's one of my favorites. And the reason for that, in sports or in business or wherever it is, every single day it's moving forward. What are we doing next? How do we get to the next piece? Forward, forward, forward. And sometimes you have to pause and remember what excellence looks like and say, okay, we move forward with what's built us here and the foundation. This is the right way to move forward and to do it. And there's not many opportunities, especially in college athletics, where you get to pause and think of that because it's one thing after the next. So congratulations to our Hall of Fame honorees. I want to take a moment. I know we have a lot of members, current members of the Hall of Fame, of past. If you're a current Hall of Fame member, please stand. I want to recognize you. That's an incredible turnout. And when we say welcome home, that just shows you the passion that people have for this place. So I was able to hear LaCongra speak last night, and she was awarded for her excellence in military service at the alumni group. She gave a great speech that I wish our student athletes were able to hear. And she talked about the lessons she learned while she was a student athlete here that set her to great success in the military and beyond. And talking with her afterwards, just the things that you didn't really realize until you looked back on it. And you had a story about your time here. And for our Hall of Famers, and the 4 that are here today and the 2 that aren't, I guarantee you your teammates have stories about you. They have lots of stories about you, but they have stories about you that made them better, right? They have other stories as well, I'm sure. And Johnny's in here. We all have stories about Johnny. So there you go. That's part of it, right? But another one of the reasons this is my favorite day is this is the best of the best. And talking with Jeff last night, these are best representatives of some of our best teams. Collectively, yeah, let's give them a round of applause. It's one thing to be a great player on a bad team or a great player on an average team. These are great athletes for great teams. I think collectively, is it third? They're third in the nation nationally. None of them finish below that nationally. Third nationally, which is unbelievable. And Dr. Rhoden worked to keep every one of them eligible, which was great as well. And so Dr. Rhoden was a great member of the team. I know that her daughter's here today to speak on behalf, but the role of an FAR is so critical to a successful athletic department and the support that they provide to coaches, to student athletes, and that connection with the faculty. With that, before we move on with our ceremony, I also want to take an opportunity to thank Jeff Hodges. This is truly a labor of love for him. He is a walking history book of this place and has already told a story to me and others about every one of you on stage and most all of you in the room. He has it, and he does a tremendous job with this event, him and Megan and his staff. So a tremendous piece. Also, we have some coaches in the room. If you're a current coach, go ahead and wave. I know, see, there's back there, Colin. Good. Thank you for being here and supporting our others. But with that, Laura, Daniel, Michael, Kendra, and then Marcus and Dr. Rhoden, who aren't here, welcome to an elite club. We're honored to have you here. And with that, Roar Lions.
Thank you, Dr. Looney. The UNA Athletic Hall of Fame was created in 1990, and today we'll be inducting our 32nd class of former Lions. The Hall of Fame was created to honor individuals who have distinguished themselves either as a player or coach for the Lions or in support of the UNA athletic program, and who have contributed to the success and high standing of the university. Candidates for the Hall of Fame are nominated and then placed on a ballot that goes to a 15-member Athletic Hall of Fame selection committee. 6 inductees are then selected with a plaque placed in their honor in the permanent Hall of Fame display in Flowers Hall. Today we're here to honor the 6 Hall of Fame inductees for 2021, which will bring the total number of inductees to 149. Just to give you some perspective, that 149 athletes comes from a pool of more than 4,000 athletes that have competed at UNA over the last 90 years. So very prestigious honor for all of you. That comes out to about 3% of all the athletes that come to UNA will end up in our Hall of Fame. As always, we're honored today to have several current UNA Hall of Fame members back with us. As we mentioned earlier, we started a tradition several years ago to try to get as many folks back as we could. In the past several years, we've had you all come on stage for a photo, but Dave, we'll just ask you to stand where you are. But we'd like to introduce every Hall of Famer that's here with us today. Alphabetically, we'll start with LaCondra Coran Shelton from women's basketball. Bob Douthit from football. Colonel Don Faint from men's basketball. Coach Billy Gamble, basketball and golf. Cody Gross from football. I don't think I've seen Cody. He told me he was going to be here, but I did not see him. Jerry Hill from football. Benny Jennings, football. DJ Jones, volleyball. Gerald Lavender, men's basketball. Johnny Long needs no introduction, but Johnny Long, the all-time trainer at UNA. Brenda Mays from women's basketball. Coach Don McBrayer in the door back there. Dr. Hamp Moore, football. Ashley Moffitt from volleyball. Lewis Newsom from men's basketball. Israel Rabin, football. I skipped over, Albert Owens from men's basketball. Robert Steele, football. Dr. Roy Stevens, administrator here at UNA for numerous years. Jason Vaughn, golfer and golf coach at UNA. Men's basketball, Alan Williams. Men's basketball, Buck Williams. Football, Michael Williams. And football, Terrence Witherspoon. Is there anybody that missed? Oh, Blake Ferris. I thought you were leaving a while ago. So football coach, he's got to go to a game in a little bit, but Coach Blake Ferris. Thank you. Anybody else? Fantastic. This is a great turnout. We appreciate you all being here. As we begin this year's induction ceremony, for the first time, we'll have two of our honorees who are unable to attend. One will have a family member accepting for them, and the other will have a former teammate. So we'll start at this time. Our first inductee into the UNA Athletic Hall of Fame for 2021 is former UNA Volleyball All-American Laura Bellinger. A 3-year starter on UNA volleyball teams from 2004 to 2006, Bellinger was a 2-time All-American who helped lead the Lions to a 95-15 record in her 3 seasons at UNA. A native of Portage, Michigan, she began her collegiate career at the United States Military Academy before transferring to UNA in 2003. While with the Lions, she was a 3-time first-team All-Gulf South Conference selection in 2004, 2005, and 2006, the GSC East Division Player of the Year in 2006, MVP of the GSC Tournament in 2006, a 3-time All-GSC Tournament selection, and a 2-time GSC Player of the Week honoree. A 3-time AVCA All-South Central Region selection and a 2-time Daktronics All-Region pick, Bellinger was named to the 2006 NCAA Division II South Central Region Tournament team and the Elite 8 All-Tournament team. She was selected All-American as a junior and senior by both the AVCA and Daktronics. She led Division II nationally in assists with 1,910 as a junior, ranked second in the nation in assists as a junior in assists per game, was 8th as a senior and 22nd as a sophomore. She finished her career with an average of 13.3 assists per game. A COSIDA Academic All-District selection in 2006, Bellinger was voted the Alabama Sports Writers Association State Small College Athlete of the Year. She helped lead her teams to 3 straight GSC championships and to the 2006 NCAA Regional Championship. That team finished the season as the national runner-up and posted a 35-6 record. That record included a 28-match winning streak before the loss in the national championship match, with 22 of those wins coming by 3-0 scores. She was later named to the GSC Team of the Decade for 2000 to 2009. A 2006 UNA graduate with a degree in public relations, she later returned to UNA as assistant volleyball coach and later earned a Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree from Rochester University, and she is now a practicing RN. Currently living outside Detroit, Michigan, she works for OakMed as a hospital liaison, assisting patients who have suffered traumatic or catastrophic injury, transition from hospital care to home care. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome for induction into the UNA Athletic Hall of Fame, Laura Bellinger.
Well, that's a little overwhelming. Thank you. I'm not one to be in the public eye. I think that's why I chose a team sport, so I could kind of blend in. But I firmly believe that any award received by an individual for a team sport belongs to the team. So I want to thank my coaches and the university and my teammates for while I was here. I also want to thank Jeff for putting on this great event, and my sisters for coming with me. Again, I'm not much for public speaking, so thank you very much.
Our second inductee into the UNA Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2021 is former UNA Golf All-American Daniel Creel. A 3-year letterman on the UNA men's golf teams from 2006 to 2008, Creel helped lead the Lions to 3 straight NCAA Division II National Championship Tournament appearances, where the Lions finished 14th in the nation in 2006, 12th in 2007, and tied for second in 2008. A Killen, Alabama native, Creel played his freshman season at the University of Alabama before transferring to UNA. At North Alabama, he was a first-team All-Gulf South Conference selection in 2006 and 2007, and second team in 2008. He also earned All-South Region honors in 2007 and 2008, and was medalist at the GSC tournament as an individual, with a 3-round total of 6 under par, 210. He was selected first-team All-American in 2007 and was All-American again in 2008. In his 3 NCAA tournament appearances, he finished tied for 69th in 2006, tied for 56th in 2007, and tied for 17th in 2008. As a team, the Lions won the 2007 South Region Championship and finished third in the region, and in 2006 and fourth in 2008. And to give you a little perspective on the golf regional, it's the South and South Central. So it's Alabama, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. So if 20 teams were in the regional, 15 of them were in the top 20 in the nation, or 20 teams in the regional, 15 of them were top 20 in the nation. And only 5 would advance, sometimes 3 or 4. So there were way more nationally ranked teams in the regional than in the national tournament. So to get out of the regional was something incredible, and still is, I'm sure. But at the 2008 NCAA Championships, the Lions finished in a 3-way tie in the final round with West Florida and St. Edwards for best in the nation. And West Florida won the national title in a playoff with UNA tying for second. In all, Creel played in 28 total tournaments at UNA, had 17 top 10 finishes, including 2 tournament titles. He was later named to the GSC Team of the Decade for 2000 to 2009. After earning a Bachelor of Business Administration degree from UNA in 2008, he played professionally on the e-golf tour and then began teaching as a golf professional. He later began a career in sales in 2010 and moved into the insurance field in 2012. He's currently the head of the Daniel Creel Allstate Agency in Florence, and he and his wife Brandy have 3 children, live here in the Shoals. Please welcome for induction into UNA Athletic Hall of Fame for 2021, Daniel Creel.
Thank you, guys. Man, what a special day. My kids were making fun of my necklace, by the way, and if I would have known this was going to be used 20 years later, I would have looked a little better. But no, thank you, guys. First, I want to express how awesome it is to be part of this elite group of athletes. I mean, this is awesome. We're a small family of 149, which is amazing. So I want to thank you for that. And tell you a neat little story. We used to come to my family still continues to come to every basketball game. And I used to come just to play hide and go seek in the Coliseum. And I remember running down that hall, and there was the plaques like you saw up here of all the athletes. And I didn't know them at the time or what they did, but I knew they were special. And now I get a plaque, which is really, really cool. So little do we know. So I want to thank my team, my coaches, my trainers, the athletic department, the teachers that pulled me through. So I'd like to give them a round of applause for helping me. Special thank you to you, Coach Gamble. He offered me a second chance to play college golf, so I'll never forget that. You always had my back, so thank you. The coach, I want to thank Colin, because he has the torch now to pass it on. It's hard. I mean, the golf team has a small budget, and I didn't realize it at the time, and just to raise money and what they do during the off season to get these guys in here with just very few scholarships to compete with the best across the country. I just want to say that's awesome, and thank you guys. Coach, thank you for always being there for me, so thank you. Lastly, I want to thank my team. Couldn't have done it without my team. I mean, I didn't do it by myself. My scores counted a lot, but again, I played bad, and they picked us up, and we kept advancing, and every year we made it to the national titles. And that last year, we tied for first for nationals, and we were so close to that, weren't we? And it's not a week that goes by that I don't think about that and those memories that we had. Man, my wife is probably tired of hearing that story, but man, we tied, and then just lost by that one. So that was awesome. So thank you guys for those memories. And I know we have a short period of time, but something's on my heart, something I didn't realize when I was here in college and being a student athlete. And I just wanted to use this time to kind of talk to you guys about it just real briefly, and just this is kind of a message for any of the student athletes that you guys come in contact with that are young and have opportunities like we have. It's special to be a student athlete, and I think everybody in here that's an athlete knows that, right? It's a special talent that we were blessed with, and I coach several rec teams for the city of Florence, and they're all young kids. They're all 10 and under right now because they're my kids' age. And there's a lot of talent out there. These kids are so good, but what I see is they don't have any kind of team relationships. They don't listen to the coaches, the volunteers. They're just not good team players. And you know, when kids fall down, get hurt, they don't help them up. They don't congratulate their own teammates. And I think there's just more that we need to teach them other than just scoring goals or points and things like that. So, in me, I didn't realize it at a young age either. Golf is a very individual sport, and I fell victim to that. In high school, it wasn't much of a team thing because there wasn't a lot of good golfers on my team at the time. But when I got to UNA, there was a lot of good players. I mean, we were surrounded with them. There was a lot of Daniel Creels out on that course, but I didn't do anything to help them or lift them up, and I just wasn't the best teammate at the time. And as you heard, I started out at Alabama, and man, when I signed that scholarship, I was on top of the world, but all I cared about was Daniel Creel. And I failed as a teammate. School wasn't a big priority. I failed my coaches, and I was sent packing. And luckily, this man right here called and gave me a second chance. And I took that opportunity. I started going to class, just enough to stay eligible. But I was in study hall every semester. I got assigned that. Does anybody else get assigned study hall? I know I did. I lived in there. Coach Lane wouldn't even let me eat a candy bar. It was nuts. But again, I worked hard, and now I stand here before today, able to talk about this. So, Coach, thank you for that second opportunity. And today, I get a third opportunity to look at it, to share this and to spread this message to you guys and share it with the student athletes in your lives and the ones that are upcoming. My third opportunity now, I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. I'm a husband and a lucky father of 3 healthy kids. So, again, I want to share this message and just tell these student athletes it's more than just about them. It's about their teammates. It's about their coaches, the school, the community. And if they can combine all that, they will be successful no matter how many W's they have, all right? 4 years happens quick. So, again, thank you for this honor. I'll cherish it forever, so thank you.
Our next inductee into the UNA Athletic Hall of Fame is former UNA football All-American Michael Johnson. A Panama City, Florida native, Johnson was a 4-year starting linebacker at UNA from 2006 to 2009 and was a 4-time All-Gulf South Conference, 4-time All-Super Region 2, and 2-time All-American at UNA. He was chosen first-team All-American by Daktronics and second-team by Division2Football.com as a junior. He followed with a first-team All-American selection by everybody that gave an All-American team in 2009, Daktronics, D2Football.com, Football Gazette, and the Associated Press. He was also voted Gulf South Conference Defensive Player of the Year as a senior, as well as National Defensive Player of the Year by both Daktronics and D2Football.com. Johnson was part of a UNA senior class that had a combined 44-7 record overall to rank as the 3rd winningest senior class in school history. The class of 2009 was ranked nationally in the top 11 for 54 straight weeks, or every week they put on a UNA uniform. Congratulations on that. The Lions had 4 straight seasons with 10 or more wins and made 4 straight NCAA playoff appearances. As a junior in 2008, he helped lead UNA to a 12-2 record and to the semifinals of the Division II playoffs. He led the Lions in tackles with 84, had 2 interceptions, and he returned 77 yards for a touchdown and an NCAA playoff win over Delta State. As a senior in 2009, he was an All-GSC pick for the 4th straight year, All-Region selection again, and led the team with 113 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, and 5 sacks. He had 2 interceptions, caused 4 fumbles, and recovered 2 of those while helping lead UNA to an 11-2 record, a Gulf South Conference championship, and a spot in the quarterfinals of the Division II playoffs. For his career, he finished with 365 tackles. Not only was he named to the UNA Team of the Decade for 1999 to 2008, he was also named to the UNA Team of the Decade for 2009 to 2018, as well as the Gulf South Conference Team of the Decade for 2000 to 2009. He signed a free agent contract with the Seattle Seahawks in 2010 and later signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's worked as a sports performance coach and personal trainer, as a wind turbine technician at GE, and he's recently joined Mark Hudspeth's football coaching staff at Gulf Shores High School. Please welcome for induction into the UNA Athletic Hall of Fame, Michael Johnson.
Good morning, everybody. Give me just one quick second to breathe. First, I want to thank God for 35 years and allowing me to see this moment. Was not expecting this phone call when I got it. I want to thank the university and all the powers that be for nominating me and thinking of me, you know. Definitely want to thank my family for being here. All your trips up here every weekend. I knew I wasn't ready to play until I looked up in the stands and saw my grandmother and my mom. My fiance, Tisha, standing up. I love you, I appreciate you, and I thank God for allowing you to see this moment with me. It means the world to me. And also her family for coming as well, man. I love y'all. Thank you so much for coming and being here. I got a long list of people, and I hope I don't forget anybody, but he walked in late, Mr. Reed. I love you with every fiber of my being. You know, you were there for me all throughout my career, and I'm trying not to. But you know how much I love you, and had to say your name today. To all my coaches, Coach E, Coach Hud, Coach Morgan, Coach Cannon, Coach Willis, Coach Campbell, and even, God bless the dead, Coach Tank, man. Spent countless hours with these men, and all we ever wanted to do was win games. That's all that matters. And like one of my colleagues just mentioned, it still bothers me that we didn't bring one home, right, Craft? Two, at least two. I still think about it. It still bothers me. But he's not here, but Josh Penny as well. He's another one that I spent countless hours with, always being hurt and driving to Huntsville to go see doctors and constantly just there for me. How about a round of applause for Mr. Jeff Hodges, man, for putting this on. Got to throw out the word Thundercats, man. That means a lot to me. This is a group of, how many of about 40 Crafts? We all came in as young freshmen, wide-eyed, looking up at this senior class that was just like an NFL team to us. We were just like, okay, we're gonna have to hit the weights in the off season because these boys are for real. So our class, we nicknamed ourselves the Thundercats. And at first it was just kind of a joke until Coach Hud started repeating it. And it gained some steam, and we were still calling ourselves the Young Thundercats in 2009. It's just something that means a lot to us. I wish more of the guys were here, but for the ones that are here, they know what it means. And you know I love you, man. But more importantly, I'm glad to see my teammates have grown into great men, great fathers to their children. That makes me happy more than anything. And like Laura said, accepting this honor is very humbling. But I can't sit up here for 5 minutes and talk about myself. My teammates were amazing, man. I'll never forget those bus rides we had, clowning. The freestyle battles and stuff on the bus, they were epic, man. I mean, I will never forget some of that stuff, and I still think about it and just laugh to this day. And I really just want to say in closing, man, I love you, UNA. I love my time here. Florence is just one of those places where it just kind of grows on you. Like you come here and you expect to leave. You might have a timeline, but it's just gonna get all ripped up because you're gonna be here a little longer than you expect, man. It's just one of those places, man, that it just kind of just grows on you. And I appreciate the people of Florence. I appreciate everybody that was here for me. Can't leave out Johnny Long. I see you smiling at me. Oh, man. But in closing, like I said, I love you. I appreciate this. I'm humbled. And everybody have a good day. Thank you.
Before we move on, just one quick recognition, but Montrell Craft was mentioned a couple times by Mike there. Montrell, stand up for just a second. He was one of just 3 people, like Mike, that were chosen for 2 UNA Teams of the Decade in football, and I'm sure you'll be getting a medallion at some time in the near future. So great to have you here, though. Congratulations. Our next inductee, former UNA football All-American Marcus Keys, is unable to attend today. I talked to Marcus back in the summer. I notified of him of his exception to the Hall of Fame, and then again over the last few weeks, and he's had a work situation that he could not get adjusted to be with us today. He's a native of Taylorsville, Mississippi. Marcus was a 2-time All-American defensive lineman on UNA football teams in 1994 and 1995, and helped lead the Lions to 2 NCAA championships and to a 27-1 record in his 2 years in the program. He was drafted after the 1995 season by the Chicago Bears and had a 10-year professional football career that included time in NFL Europe and with the Arena Football League. He was a 2-time All-GSC, All-South Region, and All-American. He started in both the Blue-Gray All-Star Classic and the Senior Bowl before being taken in the 7th round of the draft by the Bears. He was later named to the UNA and GSC Football Teams of the Decade, as well as the 50th anniversary UNA football team and the GSC team of the quarter century. Let's have a round of applause in honor of UNA Athletic Hall of Famer Marcus Keys. And accepting in his place is UNA Hall of Fame member, former teammate and friend, Mr. Israel Rabin. And don't try to sell anybody a car while you're up here talking. Come on up.
You just say I had to talk.
You got to talk.
Jeff told me.
I told you had to talk.
No, he told me to show up and accept this on Mark's behalf, and I'm not good at talking about other people. All those nice things those guys said, if I was on the screen, you wouldn't get any of that. I'm a me guy. It's all about me. Them national championships, I won all them by myself. And I deserve, I worked hard. We're talking about me again. Let's get away from that. Oh, look, I can't even go to Marcus now. So, Marcus Keys, this guy, after we won our first national championship, we brought in Marcus from a junior college. And Coach Monica deemed me with the task of showing Marcus around, making him comfortable, making him want to sign with us, because he was a highly recruited guy, big, massive man, extremely talented. And he said, hey, show the guy around. I'm like, man, we're in Florence. I don't know what to take this guy, man. So, I mean, like you said, Mike, it growed on me, so I was fine. But, you know, he came in, and from the time we sat down with each other, we ate breakfast together, and he put salt and pepper on his grits. And I grabbed his hand. I was like, man, what the heck are you doing? Well, how you eat yours? Sugar and butter. Man, that's nasty, man. And it was just, everything about this guy, we were just so different. He wouldn't wear socks. I'm like, man, put some socks on your feet. Oh man, I ain't doing all that, man. He was just a big Mississippi man. Hey, one more thing. My freshman year, I was looking at UNA Hall of Fame, there's two schools. And I said, Coach Kendra, who are these people on the wall? And he said, well, don't you worry about this.
That is a true story. Now that the comic relief is over, we'll get back to our inductions. Our next inductee into the UNA Athletic Hall of Fame is former UNA women's basketball standout Kendra Moore-Smith. A Centerville, Tennessee native, Kendra was a two-year standout on UNA women's basketball teams from 1992 to 1994 and helped lead the Lions to the Final Four as a senior, marking the most successful finish by a women's basketball team in school history. That group of Lions posted a 22-10 record and finished third nationally in the Women's Elite Eight in Fargo, North Dakota. She earned a spot on the 1993-94 All-South Region Tournament team after helping lead the Lions to 3 straight wins in the tournament, earning the first regional championship in the program's history. Moore started all 58 games that she played in at UNA and averaged 11.9 points, 5.3 rebounds, 3.7 assists, and 1.3 steals per game for her career. She scored 408 points as a senior for a 12.7 average after averaging 10.9 points as a junior. In 1992-93, she led the team in free throw percentage at 71.1 and also led the team in assists as a senior with 145. Her career numbers include 691 points, 36 three-point baskets, 307 rebounds, 218 assists, and 78 steals. While at North Alabama, Moore was also voted by the student body as the 1994 UNA Homecoming Queen and was the school's female athlete of the year for 1993-94. After graduation from UNA with a bachelor's degree in elementary education in 1995, she went on to earn a master's degree from Kennesaw State University and a specialist degree in educational leadership from the University of West Georgia. After teaching at the elementary level for 7 years, she served as an assistant principal for 8 years at Northwestern Middle School in Milton, Georgia. In 2010, she was named principal at Roswell North Elementary, leading one of the nation's largest elementary schools. While at Roswell in 2014, she was named the district's Principal of the Year for her unwavering commitment to seeking success for all students through innovative practices and creative programming. She also served as principal of Elkins Point Middle School before beginning her current role as principal of Riverwood International Charter School in Fulton County, Georgia in 2019. She and her husband, Michael, is a former UNA men's basketball player, reside in Canton, Georgia, and they have 2 children. Please welcome for induction into the UNA Athletic Hall of Fame, Kendra Moore-Smith.
This is a lot. It is. Wow. You can't mess around and give an educator a microphone. Y'all better get comfortable. So, this is a lot. We don't play the games that we love for fame or fortune. We don't do it. We play it for the love of the game. So these awards and accolades, it's hard sometimes for us to receive. But if a little girl or a little boy or somebody can look up and see who we are, to be inspired, to be just somebody better than themselves, when they grow up, they want to be like them, I'll take it. Doggone it, I'll take it. I'll take it. I first want to thank our Lord and Savior for providing us this opportunity to come together on this special occasion. It is indeed an honor and the privilege to have this moment in time to share the stage with such talented individuals. Laura, Daniel, Marcus, Michael, and Pat, congratulations to each of you. Thank you to the Hall of Fame for selecting us to be a part of school history. Jeff Hodges, thank you so much for putting on this beautiful occasion. You see, I'm just a country girl from Centerville, Tennessee, where the love of the game of ball was born. Growing up, I never imagined I'd be standing here receiving this award because we played the game for the love of the game. Day and night, until the street lights came on, we played ball. Basketball, softball, shot put, whatever we could find that a ball that rolled. Roller skates, just whatever it was. My sisters and I did it, and we had a ball doing it. So when the call came from Jeff, I was sitting at my desk in my office. It was late, a little bit later in the evening. My phone hardly ever rings because I'm hardly ever in my office, but at that moment I was. And I said, well, I better answer this thing. And I heard Jeff on the other end of the line, and he said what he said. And I said, little old me? And he said, mm-hmm. I said, the same hall as Ron McKinney? He said, yes, ma'am, the same hall as Ron McKinney. I could not pull it together. So needless to say, I was extremely surprised when the call came. And my mind flashed in a quick moment to my now best friend for life, Cindy Dixon, and I getting off of that small commuter plane in Fargo, North Dakota, when we made it to the Elite Eight. She was crying and I was chewing gum because neither one of us had ever been on airplanes. Crying and chewing and crying in that order. And we were just grateful when that thing hit the ground. We didn't know we were going to live. Cindy, thank you for who you are and who you have been. Almost 30 years we've been together as best friends. Although we don't see each other as much as we would like, when we get together, time stands still. So my life success has been influenced by so many people, and I just want to take this. I told you we're going to sit a minute. Get comfortable. There's so many people that have influenced my life, and I just want to share and take this opportunity that we are gifted to share my gratitude. My dad, McKinley Moore, and Coach Qualls were the ones to nurture my love of the game of ball throughout my high school years. Thank you, Daddy, for giving me the talents that I have, teaching, singing, playing ball, and my sense of humor. To my most amazing mother, Clara Moore, who hardly ever missed a game throughout my entire basketball career. From you, I learned how to have grit and perseverance as you instilled in my sisters and I the love of Jesus Christ and taught us that through him all things are possible. Thank you, Mama, for all the sacrifices you have made for us. Thank you, Mama, for supporting us and supporting me through the good and the not so good times and teaching us how to win on and off the court and also how to lose on and off the court. Thank you to my supporting and loving sisters, Mimi, Carla, Hobrina, and our brother who is looking down on us right now from heaven. Proud, he's jumping for joy, happy. Mona, thank you for being here. That's our cousin Rhoden. We love you. I love you. Victor was our biggest fan, all of our biggest fans. Mimi, I learned from you how to be slow to speak and always willing to listen. You taught me the value of $1 and the importance of saving and being financially fit. Carla, there's so much I could say about what you've done for me. The very day I graduated from UNA in 1995, the very day I graduated, you took me and my husband, boyfriend back then, Michael, I'm just playing, you took me into your home in Atlanta, Georgia, and that evening, you sat me down once we touched down in Atlanta. I'd never been to Atlanta before. You brought me in there on the couch and you sat me down on the couch, and I thought we were just going to watch TV and have a little dinner. She sat me down. I'll never forget it, and this is the truth. You have 30 days to find yourself a job, or you carrying your tail home. Little did I, and that's the truth, but little did I know that you had a plan for my future and my life and my future success. Day one, the very next day, we pulled in on a Saturday. We put it on a Sunday because the graduation was on Saturday. We pulled in on a Sunday. Monday morning at 8, there were mock interviews in the living room. During the morning hours, there was Dress for Success trainings held. In the evenings were quizzes on what I had just learned that morning. Paper, pencil, and from memory. Needless to say, upon my first interview, within the first hour of attending a Fulton County job fair at the Georgia World Congress Center, I was offered a first grade school teaching job right on the spot. By 8:30, yes, Lord, by 8:30 a.m., I had landed the job that I had always imagined and the job that you prepared me for. A dream job, yes, let's give her a round of applause. A dream job that would ultimately lead me to an 8-year teaching career, followed by 8 years of being an assistant principal, 5 years as an elementary principal, 4 years as principal of a middle school, and the current position at the most amazing high school, Riverwood International Charter, as principal. You helped me get there, and I thank you. Hobrina, my sister with the quiet strength. My sister that genuinely finds the best in most situations and people. Thank you for showing me how to love with your whole heart. You gave me the gift of being an auntie to my one and only nephew, who I cherish deeply. The picture you sent to me while I was a student here at UNA stayed on my mantle as motivation and stayed on my heart always, like it is right now. DJ is not here today, but nephew, I loved watching you play football in college at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. Student athlete, top athlete, academic athlete there, and going on to play in the CFL. DJ, your motivation and drive and desire to win assisted you with being a top student athlete throughout your career. Now here's to the good stuff, the real good stuff. Michael, my loving and most amazing husband, who I met for the first time in August of 1992 in line at Flowers Hall. He was in the line signing his contract for the men's basketball team, and I was in line to sign mine for the girls' basketball team. He looking at me, and I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. And then he said, why don't you get one of your girls and we play one-on-one, 2-on-2. We'll get one of your teammates and we'll play a little 2-on-2. I said, all right. Well, all right then. So he grabbed Kevin, I grabbed Star Ferguson, because I knew she could shoot. Star could shoot. Now this is where the story gets a little tricky, because I remember us winning. But Michael his ending of the story seems to take just a slightly different turn and leaving us in defeat. Now, if that's true, I think we let him win just to save a little face. But shortly after preseason began, Michael suffered a career-ending injury to the same knee he had injured at Pebblebrook High School while scoring 40 on Georgia All-Americans. I've been inspired by you all of my life. With your effortless talent, pure love for the game of basketball, all of those things have been inspiring. And it also didn't hurt that the first date you took me on was to your high school. So when we walked into the gym, He walks nearly almost into the middle of the court. The game was going on. So I knew something was going on. I just happened to look up in the ceiling, and there's a single jersey hanging from the ceiling. On the back of it, number 14. The name, Smith. And I looked over at him, and he said, From that point on, Michael and I were together. Michael and I later married in 1998 and had our first baby girl, Tori, who is now a graduate student at the University of Alabama. Roll Tide. Tori, you have brought our family so much joy and laughter, and we are so proud of you. Thank you for being the shining light that you are and the gift of inspiring others. Watching you bounce back from a torn ACL knee surgery and scoring almost 30 goals in that soccer season. Y'all heard me right. I said soccer. In 2007, yes, 9 years later, we had our baby boy, Trey, who turns 14 today. Happy birthday, baby. He made our family complete. Trey is a true joy. You are a true joy to watch. Grow up and watch you play football and baseball. Two sports you light up for every time you take the field. Your motivation and drive runs deep, and we are blessed by you every day. So to Michael, I don't tell you enough. Thank you for giving me an incredible life. Because of your hard work, dedication, and commitment to your family, I am the luckiest girl in the world to have you out in front of us. And speaking of family, I would be remiss if I didn't mention my in-loves, not my in-laws, but my in-loves. My mom in love, Carolyn Smith, my dad in love, Mr. J, sister in love, Carla Smith, and auntie in love, Brian, in the nearly 30 years of being together, 23 married, I have loved being a part of the Smith family, as their relentless support, love, and guidance has been nothing short of amazing. I thank God for them every day. During my years here at Alabama, I have such fond memories of my time playing basketball at the University of Alabama, North Alabama. I remember us being in the best shape of our lives, at the top of our games, and our hearts and minds were ready and in sync to play. You see, team is what we valued. We were close, extremely close. Coach Bird was hard on us, extremely hard. But he loved us. He loved us because he knew we were something special. His tough love for us forced us to become stronger. Again, because he knew he had a team that was very special. Coach Bird, thank you for teaching us how to dig deep and to be winners. You hated to lose, and you let us know in more ways than one when we lost. Our team landed in the same place at the same time with the right amount of passion for the game that we love, led by the right leader. Coach Bird is what made us successful. It took us all to win. For me, this award is about our team. A team of ordinary girls working relentlessly to achieve something extraordinary. And we did just that. Practice for 3 hours, run 3 miles, back in the weight room, books, shower, repeat. And if we didn't practice right, that practice was done over after the 3 miles, weight room, books, repeat. That was the story of our lives, and I would not change anything about the way our book was written. Although we fell short, Michael, I'm right there. Woo-wee. Although we fell short of our pursuit for a national championship, we finished 3rd in the nation with our heads up high because we left everything on the court and ultimately set the foundation for our own personal success. As an educator, now the proud principal of Riverwood International Charter High School in Sandy Springs, where I have the most amazing team of teachers, parents, and students who work together every day so that our school can win. So each of our students have a fair chance at a great life and a promising future. That is what Coach Bird did for us. That is what the university provided for me. It allowed us to grow our EQ, our emotional quotient, and fostered collaboration and instilled pride and continued our love for the game. Thank you to the UNA Hall of Fame for selecting me in this way and honoring all of us to live in the hearts and minds of the UNA Lions that will walk this campus for many years to come. Once a Lion, come on, always a Lion. Thank you so very much.
Our final inductee into the UNA Athletic Hall of Fame is former UNA Faculty Athletic Representative Dr. Patricia Rhoden. It's very ironic today that Dr. Rhoden is not able to be with us. For the last 20-plus years, she's traveled all across America with her husband Randy following the UNA teams, and due to a recent fall, she's unable to be with us today. Dr. Rhoden served as the UNA Faculty Athletic Representative for more than 2 decades from 1997 to 2020 and played a crucial role in the success of the UNA athletic program. Before her retirement last year, she was a member of UNA's teaching faculty for 40 years. As an associate professor of mathematics and computer science, Dr. Rhoden was part of unprecedented success for the UNA athletics program that included national championships on the field, record department-wide grade point averages in the classroom, and the beginning of the university's transition to Division I. In her role as the faculty athletic representative, Dr. Rhoden reported to the university president while working closely with the athletics director. She was on call to address athletics-related issues throughout the calendar year. Her responsibility as FAR was to promote a balance between academics, athletics, and the social lives of UNA student-athletes. She reviewed travel and competition schedules to minimize missed class time, while also engaging in certification for competition process for all line student-athletes. She was also charged with reviewing athletic scholarships, participating in student-athlete exit interviews, serving as an independent source of counsel, assistance, and information, and encouraging and facilitating interactions between student-athletes and the mainstream of institutional activities. And beyond all that, she was one heck of a Lion fan, through and through. Our final inductee into the UNA Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2021 is Dr. Patricia Rhoden. So please welcome to accept on her behalf her daughter, UNA Associate Professor Dr. Miranda Bowie.
First of all, I just want to say thank you so much to the Hall of Fame for inducting my mother. She loves UNA athletics with all of her heart, and she instilled that in me, and she believes purple and gold. So she is on the injured list, so you get second string here today, but she did give me a speech, so these are her words to you. Thank you to the athletic department for this recognition. It is unbelievable to me, a person with no known athletic ability, to be inducted in UNA's Athletic Hall of Fame. Although I was never an athlete, I did possess an avid appreciation for all sports, gifted to me by 2 athletic parents who both participated in high school sports as well as semi-professional sports. I was my father's only son, so he encouraged me to enjoy watching and listening to sports. Even today, my car radio is permanently tuned to a sports channel. I have often been asked how I came to be selected as the faculty athletic representative to the NCAA, and also why I continued in the position for 24 years. My family and I were seen at many home as well as away competitions by then President Robert Potts, who was looking for a new FAR and offered me the position. I felt that being a mathematician and a computer scientist would help with the dealing with all the numbers and software needed in maintaining compliance with the NCAA and conference rules. But most important was my appreciation for the commitment and the talent of the student athletes as they represented our university that made me want to serve as FAR year after year. In my role as FAR, being able to monitor and encourage the development of the student athletes in the classroom was one of my greatest desires. I saw the time demand that athletes have placed on them, and how that made their academic demands much more intense than the non-athletes. I saw the student athletes overcome struggles and accomplish success both in the classroom through graduation and on the field, court, pitch, or course through championships. My FAR experience was a very wonderful experience, as is this award. Thank you again to my many colleagues and friends. And as always, War Lions.
Thank you, Miranda. Just a couple things before we dismiss for the day. The homecoming parade today is at 11:30, so our Hall of Famers will be, you need to be out on Pine Street in line by 11 o'clock, so you'll have a little bit of time between now and then. So if you want to grab something else to eat or fellowship some more, we have plenty of time for that. Also in the parade today, again, LaCondra Coran getting our Military Service Award. She'll be in the parade, as well as Megan Dye, who's our UNA Friend of the Year. So congratulations to both of you, but look for them in the parade. And Don McBrayer will help make sure you get to the car and everything. And I also want to thank Don. He's always my right-hand guy and helping me get everything done for the Hall of Fame, even the lead-up and then also today. So thank you again, Don, for that. Our ceremony day has been recorded, and we'll hopefully have it on our website and our social media later today for all of y'all to view it there. And then also Benjamin Ray is set up at the top up there. He's been doing some interviews for a podcast. He's interviewed several Hall of Famers already, but if you don't mind hanging around a couple minutes afterwards, just a few minutes each, he'd like to get as many folks on there as he can. It'll be our Hall of Fame podcast for this year. But before we dismiss, we'd ask the four of you to please stand. And ladies and gentlemen, before we dismiss today, can we have one final round of applause for our UNA Hall of Fame class of 2021. You are dismissed. If any of you would like to get a photo made on stage with the full display or your